Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. So welcome to the video entitled My Top 3 Smartphones of 2018. So yes, I've got 3 phones right here. To me, in my personal opinion, these are my absolute best phones of 2018. Now, you may not agree with that. A lot of you may agree with the phones that I'm going to display here before you. So I'm just going to state what these phones are, give a little bit of information as to why I feel that way, and then we're going to keep it moving to the next. All right, so let's get into this thing. I hope to not take too much of your time. Now, I'm going to start off with iOS. Okay, I'm going to start off with iOS. Okay, now Apple with the iPhone 10. Or some people refer to it as the 10X. They released the 10 about a year ago, and then this year they blessed us with the 10S and the 10S Max. Most recently, they blessed us with the 10R. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel as though the best iOS Apple iPhone that you can get your hands on right here, right now in 2018 is the iPhone 10R. Here's why. For one, the price. When this phone was released, this phone was $749.99. Yes, that was the cheapest out of the newer iPhones that have been released. You can get other iPhones for cheaper, but those are some of the later models. Okay, those aren't any of the recent models. So if you don't feel as though you need to have the latest and the greatest, then I guess you're not going to care about such a thing. But if you want one of the newer devices, then there's a premium price that's associated with that. But right here, right now, because of the slowed or not so good sales from Apple, there's been a significant price drop with the 10R here. The 10R went from $749.99 to $449.99. Now, I saw last week that from Apple, you can buy the iPhone 10R for $449.99, and you can also buy the iPhone 10, the 10S, for $699. Now remember, when the 10S first was released, that phone was $999.99. Okay, so even being able to buy that phone at $699 is a significant price drop. But again, the value lies right here with the iPhone 10R. $449.99, that's a steal. Now the differences between this and the 10S and the 10S Max: screen size. This has a beautiful LCD panel as opposed to an OLED panel. You get a gig less of RAM. So here at the 10R, you get 3 gigs of RAM as opposed to 4. That's not really a big deal because most of the iPhones, some of the older iPhones, or a lot of the older iPhones that performed very well, was operating off a gig or 2 of RAM. Okay, we just started seeing like 3 and 4 gigs of RAM in some of the later iPhone models that have been released as of recent. So 3 gigs of RAM here as opposed to 4, which is on the 10S and the 10S Max, not that big of a deal. We don't have the secondary 12 megapixel telephoto lens. Not a big deal to me. Why? Because the 12 megapixel primary sensor is the same primary sensor that we find on the 10S and the 10S Max, which means that the same photos and photo and video quality that you would take on the 10S and the 10S Max, you're still able to get here on the iPhone 10R. The A12 Bionic chip, which Apple is claiming is the most powerful processor, and it provides a buttery smooth experience, is also housed here in the iPhone 10R. So Apple's latest processor is here in the iPhone 10R. Okay, we got IP67 water resistance as opposed to IP68. What does that mean? Rather than being able to submerge your phone in 2 meters of water, you can submerge it in 1 meter of water. Is that a big deal? No. I don't really know too many people that are submerging their phones. But if you do want to, you still have that capability here. You still got wireless charging, so you can throw this bad boy in a wireless charger, and you're good to go. $449.99 for all of that. The 10R is the best damn iPhone that you can get your hands on right now in 2018. And on top of that, you get the different color variations. I love the fact that I was able to just go into my Verizon store and say, hey, I want that phone and I want that red one right there. Typically, the product red is a color that Apple always releases way after they release the device. Okay, and then it's like they released the product red and maybe a different color just to kind of rebuild some hype or some anticipation to get people wanting that device again after it's been out for a while. And so I love the fact that when Apple dropped the XR, that there was like 6 or 7 different color variations in which you could have got this phone in. That's dope. Red is my favorite color, and the fact that I was able to get this product red on launch day, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so as far as iOS, the best Apple iPhone that you can get your hands on in 2018 goes to the iPhone XR. All right, now let's swing over to the budget category. All right, now we're swinging over to Android right now. All right, now the best budget smartphone that you can get your hands on in 2018, the best Android budget smartphone, bar none. Ladies and gentlemen, and this one for me was easy. A lot of you may agree with this, but if you don't, then hey man, it just is what it is, man. My opinion, I'm entitled to that. The best budget device in 2018 goes to the Xiaomi Pocophone F1. Here's why. For one, this phone is $300. Ponder on that for a second. $300. If you're not familiar with this device, this phone has the Snapdragon 845 processor, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of onboard storage, dual stereo speakers, just recently updated to Android 9 Pie, excellent front-facing and rear cameras, lightning fast fingerprint sensor and facial recognition, Type-C at the bottom that does support quick charge, and this device charges very fast. We do still have a headphone jack up at the top for all of you people out there that like to plug in. This particular package, $300. Now ponder that for a minute. Let that sink in into your melon and ponder on that for a minute. $300 for all those specs that I just named here in the Pocophone F1. Now featuring Android 9 Pie. Now this phone was originally released in India. It was never released here in the States, but there are certain websites that you can get on and you can order this device. The only drawback that I see with this phone is its availability. Because of the fact that it was not released in the States, even though it may work in the States, you're going to have to check and make sure that your carrier, or that this phone supports some of the LTE bands that your carrier has in order for this phone to work. You don't want to buy this phone and pop your SIM card in it and find that it's not going to work because it doesn't support any of the LTE bands that's supported with your particular carrier. So for me, I live in Seattle, Washington. The best coverage as far as LTE bands that works the best with this device is AT&T. And it's GSM unlocked. I mean, so if I pop my T-Mobile SIM card in it, certain things may work, other things may not. When I pop in my AT&T SIM card, everything works. I've got full 4G LTE connectivity, all bars. This phone works just as though it was released in the US when I've got my AT&T SIM card in here. Okay? So that's just one thing you gotta be mindful of. If you buy this phone, make sure you check your carrier bands to make sure that this phone supports it so that you will be able to use this device. And if you are able to take advantage of getting this device and it worked for you, then damn it, there is no better deal than this phone with these specs at a $300 price. Now, there's a lot of budget devices that are out there that are really good. There's a lot of mid-range devices out there that are really good, that cost more than this. But you are not gonna find either a budget or a mid-range phone that is better than the Xiaomi Pocophone F1. So ladies and gentlemen, that is why, in my personal opinion, the Pocophone F1 is the best damn budget device of 2018. All right, now let's keep it moving. Now the best overall flagship in 2018. Okay, now there's a lot of good flagship devices that came out in 2018. Again, some of you guys may agree with this decision, others may not. Okay, now The best damn flagship device in 2018 goes to the LG V40. The LG V40 is the best flagship that was released in 2018. Here's why. We've got a 6.4-inch OLED panel. This display is extremely comparable to the Infinity display that we find on the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, which bar none is the best damn display on any smartphone on planet Earth. But the fact that I'm able to mention this display in the same conversation says a lot about the display here in the LG V40. Okay, this display is an absolute joy to watch. As you can see there, we've got the always on display, which displays the time, the date, notifications, and your battery percentage. So there's nothing better than to be able to just look over and glance at your phone without having to touch it and find out what time it is, look to see if you've got any notifications. If you want to check your battery percentage to see what type of battery sustainability you've got working with, then you can just glance at the display. Okay, Snapdragon 845 processor, 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of onboard storage that can be expanded up to a terabyte or two. Okay, 5 cameras on this phone. We've got an 8 megapixel primary front facing sensor and a 5 megapixel wide angle sensor on the front. On the rear, we've got a 12 megapixel primary, a 12 megapixel telephoto, and a 16 megapixel super wide angle lens that takes some stunning photos and video. If you're a media content creator and you want to create content with your cell phone, one of the best options that you can get your hands on is the LG V40, because it's offering a lot of things in the camera app that a lot of other devices are not offering. Now, there's a lot of other phones that have good cameras and take good video. But hi, baby. Hold on. Wow. But sorry about that. But you're not gonna find any other phone that is giving you the options that the LG V40 is giving you on the camera app here when it comes to content creation. The editing tools, the different beauty modes and all that kind of thing, the features and the functions and the options that you have with portrait mode before and after you take a photo. It's all here on the LG V40. 3,300 milliamp hour battery that lasts all day for me. Type-C connectivity that charges very fast. Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, which means that you do have wireless fast charging of this device. It is IP68 water and dust resistant, so that means that you can submerge this phone up to 2 meters of water for 30 minutes with no damage. Okay, the difference between IP67 and 68 is IP67, you can submerge your phone under 1 meter of water for 15 minutes. IP68, you can submerge it in 2 meters of water or 2 centimeters or whatever water for 30 minutes with no damage. Okay, so you have that capability here with the LG V40. It's nice and lightweight, it's nice and sleek, it's very easy to grasp and hold and manage with one hand. It's not too cumbersome at all whatsoever. If it does get cumbersome, we do have that one-handed mode right there, and it's just a buttery smooth experience overall. Now the price for this phone, I got it through Verizon. I paid $540 for this phone. Full retail price at Verizon, $940. But I was able to take advantage of a Black Friday deal for $400 off. And so this phone, it's been out for a little while now, and so I'm sure you're going to be able to find some deals. This phone is being sold unlocked. The unlocked price, full retail price, is $799. I have seen it on sale, the unlocked version, for $649.99, which is also a really good price for what this phone is offering. So ladies and gentlemen, this, in my personal opinion, the LG V40 is the all-time best flagship device that was released in 2018. Now, there's a lot of other good ones out there. The Huawei Mate 20, that is an excellent phone, but it's not released here in the US for obvious reasons. Huawei got some things going on with the US government, you know what I mean? And so they can't really release their phones here in the US the way that they would like to, which sucks, because I think that they make some really good devices. And so although you are able to get your hands on that device, it's not as accessible as the V40 here. The V40, you can go just about anywhere and get your hands on it. Can't say the same for the Mate 20. Okay, but I feel like because of the Mate 20's availability issues, I had to give the nod to the LG V40 here. Now, you know, maybe it'd be a different conversation right now if the accessibility was different, because that Mate 20 is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. It is no joke. But the V40 here, best damn flagship in 2018 in my personal opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are my top 3 smartphone devices in 2018. Let me know what your top devices are in 2018 in your personal opinion down below in the comments if you disagree with the selection of phones in which I just presented before you. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to expose yourself to tons of videos that I've done like this one. Definitely stay tuned and keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech, because I've got so much more content to come. As we say goodbye to 2018, welcome in 2019. I'm so ecstatic about a lot of the new phones and devices that are coming out in 2018, so please keep it locked here so that you don't miss anything. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so that every time my videos go live, you can be notified first, and you can be the first to check out the video content. And hit me up in the comments, let me know about what you saw and what you think about what you saw. If I missed anything, let me know what that is in the comments, and I'll do my best to accommodate you guys in future videos. Alright, all of my subscribers, much love. If you're an Eagle fan, Eagle Nation, stand up. We back in the playoffs. J. Will, my man, salute. My brother, my Eagle brother, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's going to be a big year in 2018, or 2019. You know, we saw a lot of exciting things in 2018, but that's coming to a close, so I'm looking forward to what's in store for 2019. God bless you all. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for watching, and you already know, man, keep it safe in everything that you do. If you guys are getting out tonight, today is New Year's Eve. If you're getting out tonight, please be safe. Get spiritually fit if you haven't already. God is always willing to start over no matter what's going on in your lives. And remember, as long as Christ is for you, it don't matter who's against you. Don't matter. All right? Keep it pristine in everything that you do. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.